Big question, I think, for me when it comes down to Convoy Gaming. Consistently, their big thing has been in previous seasons. They've been great in the respawn, one of the best hardpoint teams we've actually had to offer, regardless of what the fourth looked like for this team throughout the entirety of the 2023 season so far. But S&D is where they've struggled, and we're keeping an eye on that further throughout the remainder of this series. But let's kick things off on the good old Fortress for map number 1, Convoy. We've been gassing them up as one of these big boy hardpoint teams. Let's see if they can deliver.
Convoy, by the way, all the way through Season 3 of the Elite, went 6-2 as far as their map ones are concerned. And they played a lot of series. And well, Rex, he was the #1 statistical player for quite some time in North America. You're seeing why a 4-0 start. He's the only player really over here by the streets. His teammates are still put in the blender through the middle of the map. Mirage, Prada, going to be able to find 4 dead in a row. Treaty 1, they hold on. And more importantly, that rotation towards New is secured.
Big start coming out from Treaty 1 Gaming, taking that time away from Convoy and, of course, keeping themselves on the side of the map that they want. Kill in the middle of the map that would have been there for Proda, but he's unable to deliver on it as the kill does come through for Pristini. So now they and number 3 and Rex looking to approach their way through, but Rex unfortunately not able to get that kill. Juju with the back heady going to take them down. Convoy, though, should continue to spill up towards the middle of the map. Treaty 1 to try and weather the storm that is Convoy coming in their way. And so far, so good. All the kills going in their way. And Convoy, I mean, they've made some progress. They've got some modicum of control over the munitions building, but you cannot allow Treaty 1 to overextend through the middle of the map. This flip might not be as good as you like.
And that was one of the better breaks that we'll see here as far as P2 is concerned. Again, instead of brute forcing your way through the double arches, you try to get yourself some arc control. It's exactly what Convoy do. And Persini's starting to feel the hot hand as well. You still have 2 more teammates. Keep in mind, you both Gunless and Rex actually quickly rotated over towards P3. So you try to give yourself a real good shake at this if you are Persini. You're on a 3 spree. A couple exits would be fine. But all of Convoy, they're setting up for that full 60 there at 3.
Yeah, this is the right call from Convoy. You've stolen away 14 seconds or so, right? That's a relatively good amount of time to get off the back of the last hard point, but now you can get a full 60 off the back of P3. You just got to hold. Late hit coming through around the back line from Brustini. Good read in the middle of the map from Siski as well. Nero ready for the entry coming through from Mirage and Juju. Juju going to go down, Mirage chill up, and Gunless is weak from the initial, so this might look to be an overwhelming play coming through from Treaty 1, and it is. Proda and Juju find the final kills, and Convoy, they look unrested, unsettled here. Proda's still fighting for the remainder of this time, and he does find that kill. Nicely done, supporting gunfights in as well, and Proda finds his 3rd in a row. That is such a crucial break from Treaty 1.
I mean, even with the possession of the hard point there for Treaty 1, Convoy still got numbers. I believe it was Gunless that was down there bottom circle. Was able to get a couple squad spawns there for Convoy, and they couldn't recontest it. A wonderful break for Treaty 1, and that kind of spoils the plans for Convoy. Again, didn't get a sufficient amount of time off of P2. They wanted the full 60 over inside of P3. Now they got to lock it down over at 4, and if Treaty 1 break this again, this first set of hard points just might spiral out of control.
Yeah, you got to make sure you start holding these times for Convoy. Just get a full 60, get yourselves back in towards this game, because it really does feel like Fortress is one of those maps where it really can get away from you super fast. Seen it in the past where teams find themselves down by quite a margin. Convoy don't want to be in that position and want to hold for the moment, but here they come. From Gallo's side, it's Juju, it's Mirage, both of them going to go down. Nice double being brought by the new boy on the block here for Convoy, or rather, old boy returning in the form of Nero, who does pick up those kills. First wave of defensive fights are good for a Convoy. Now can you hold more? Treaty looking to make their way through that street side. Rex up top. Shots going in towards Juju, but Juju gets the better of him in that particular engagement. Mirage also finding another one off screen as well. And now more kills. Pristini left up on his own, and he gets shut down. Convoy Gaming, they're broken. It's only scrap time, but still, that's nice time Treaty 1 to take.
And still just another dagger that Convoy are going to start feeling for themselves again. It's not an easy hard point, I will say that much for P4. And try to lock things down. Nero's starting to create a lot more space and chaos, especially outside of stables. And these are great kills to start collecting for yourself. Rossini, again, thinking about some scrap time. Juju laying in an unorthodox position, leading towards those art designs. Inevitably get that kill. But then in towards 5, we will go again. And Treaty 1, again, they are here threatening it early. You got player number 6 of Prada. He's all the way on the flank trying to set up a pinch to break this early.
Yeah, this would be big if Treaty 1 could get this time away from Convoy Gaming, but this positioning that Gunless holds is so horrible to even try to break in, and I don't think the Predator expected that late flank coming through from Bastini, so that initial play is going to get shut down by Convoy. Again, looking at try and dig away at the lead that Treaty 1 have built up over the last few hard points. Juju just sitting in a position over by this Gallows side, ready. There's another player on the other side of the wall, and I think he knew about it. Nero still going to catch him off guard regardless, and there's kills in the kill feed, mostly in favor of Convoy Gaming. They will trade these trades all day long. Proto knows how important getting in through. He's going to fly his way out towards the middle of the map, finds one, but the second will not be good. And there's the scrap time also going Pristini's way too. This is okay for Convoy Gaming. That was a great hard point for them. They're now within touching distance of Treaty 1.
And talk about the veterans showing up when it matters the most. Hold on, Nero's trying to go for a little bit more chaos inside the hard point. Was the damage enough? Because now Mirage is the only player left inside of P1. I mean, that entire P5 escapade doesn't happen if Gunless doesn't continuously respawn close and try to keep stables in his control. Allow Pristini to constantly flank in and around of Art, and now he's leading this in towards the second set on a 5 spree.
It would be nice if you can get the 6th one. Would really be a serious way back into this game for a Convoy. I mean, they do have one. There again, as I said, we've been touching distance of Treaty 1 at this point, but going to get shut down on an attempt to crawl their way towards the hard point to perhaps catch somebody off guard. Big kill there by Proto, so the cruise missile will be denied. And now off the back of that Treaty 1, they will be in. Let's look over towards the picture-in-picture, by the way, as Hive x SMG going to win their first map of the day. Big map to take away against the Rocker ESG roster. A lot of X's, a lot of crossovers going on over there. As we said, that Hive roster coming in a brand new roster for this season. Nonetheless, though, while all that's going on, Andy, Treaty 1, they're taking a huge chunk of time away from P1.
Yeah, it's just because Convoy is trying to go for the safety net play of trying to get themselves strongly set up for P2. Pristini's going to miss some timing of players heading up towards top boats, so Prada's going to catch them by surprise. Top trees, but the communication's good to Nero inside of P2 as it pops, presses forward inside a close. The trade not there soon enough for Juju. A little bit slow off the reaction time will remain for Convoy Gaming to get this setup going.
I've forgotten what Nero looks like in challenges. You know, granted he's 16 and 14, but this guy, he was a reaper of challenges back before his Boston breach days. The 4 spree finally does go down, and Treaty 1 now finding their way back on through. They've got those back spawns in effect. The Convoy, they want to hit this fast. They've isolated Siski and finally going to get the kill off the back of that. Now Pristini flying his way through, has the support of Rex from open side, but Mirage is going to double up from Gallows, and that should send Rex on the way. With 25 seconds left now, Convoy Gaming, their best bet is to rotate, but we know what happened last time.
Yep, just cannot allow these players to full flood all the way through maps and all the way through the big arch as well. And again, it's working in tandem. Treaty 1 Gaming turning scrap into potential initial, and it's the same exact effect that came through, just not as many players strong for Convoy for that initial defense over inside P3. Nero gets a very rogue spawn all the way back by the old hardpoint. Siski's going to get some very unfortunate timing, so this should be a very quick break, and it is for Convoy to get back inside P3. Now they can look to set up for a potential 50 seconds here.
Yeah, absolutely huge one. You lose control of P3 in that instance. This game, as far as I'm concerned, Andy, is completely over. So big flip there from Convoy Gaming to regain control. Nero in the middle of the map providing some coverage for his team. That's a big double to try and keep Treaty 1 at bay, but now needs to get involved in towards this hard point because it is now Rex inside. He's going to double up towards the archway. Nicely done. Siski, he's still threatening towards the hill, though. If not, Rex to get this kill, Pristini needs to, and in doing so, well, Pristini does get that kill, but Rex was definitely distracted in the play. Treaty 1 off the back of that, more than happy to take him away from that time, and they will garner the back 20 seconds off the back of this hill. There is still a leader's advantage to be talked about here for Treaty 1 as they move over towards next.
Yep, and again, over towards next here inside P4, not an easy hard point to hold on to. It's always around top rails. You got to make sure that you get a player inside of that positioning. Siski more than aware of that. He is snapping down low, though. Gets the complete skates. That was Nero trying to drop down for the trade. Rex had the closer spawn, so he will be able to take Siski down. But it still created a lot of space for Treaty 1 to try to encroach forward and contest P4 early.
Man, if Siski would have done that, if he would have got that third kill, I think that would have completely disheartened Convoy Gaming at this point in time. Nonetheless, they are back in. Big 40 seconds for them to grab here. First initials going the way of Rex and Nero. Good defense so far. Treaty 1 will get those close spawns towards Gallows, and now they've got to choose how they want to approach this. Not through the double doors, that's not the play, but in from up time, in from above, it's going to be Siski who picking up one. Siski for the double, Juju for number 3. Treaty 1, they are back in for a valuable 25 seconds, and Gunless, he knows this. He's going for the pinch from Nero from the front, and Nero will catch Juju off guard to take him down. But Gunless starts a fight here against Proto up top, who does pick up that second. There are still Convoy players fighting tooth and nail for this scrap time. And ultimately, I don't know if they're going to get it.
Oh, scrap time is very much so solid for grabs. I mean, we're down to about 4 seconds here at the final few moments. So Convoy's not even going to try to put a player inside that hard point. They're going to start scrambling themselves for the setup at P5 that worked so well throughout the first set. So a lot of players trying to go for gunfights inside of R. Pristini goes 2 for 1 in that regards. Can't find enough kills. No, it allows Treaty 1 again to encroach on forward. But look at Convoy setup again. You got Rex inside of stables. Just needs to get a player inside this hard point to generate more time.
Yeah, this is one of those power positions I was talking about, right? Gunless was here earlier on. Now it's Rex picking up this position. Really hard to take a player out if they've got a trophy system down, preventing any nades from going in towards that area. But you do need to get somebody inside the hard point. Nero does attempt to do so, but gets cut down by Mirage. Now Rex finds himself in 5 in a row to stick that will be denied by Proto. Christini there for the trade, now has to look towards top single for the fight versus Juju, and, well, the trophy system will protect him from that Semtex. So, Convoy still keeping them close towards this hard point here for the moment. They are about 25 seconds down for the moment, and now Nero, you can see, he's winding up. He's ready to fly straight towards munitions, and that flank will fail.
Yep, it's going to get cut down. I mean, everybody from Treaty 1 just setting themselves up around Art. It's mostly just to give the support for Proto, who's inside of the hard point. Can't allow Treaty 1 to get all comfy cozy inside of this hard point, Brody. Convoy Gaming, they can't allow all the time that they got to see go their way going through that second set, and they're more than aware of it, so it's going to be Streets control first, get inside the hard point, and maybe think about the rotation next.
Yeah, this is still big time to give away, though. Treaty 1, they've got to be uber cautious about how they play this. You do not want to give this time away. Juju's certainly not going to. Going towards the hard point, and he goes for the first. Not going to attempt the fly out, though, from Nero, who does actually pick up 2 kills there. Huge time for Convoy Gaming. They cannot finish it here regardless of what happens. They're going to need to keep that rotation towards the next at the back of their mind. But for the moment, they want to soak up every single second they can off the back of this P1 kill. Siski flying out towards the middle of the map, and Gunner's going to get tagged by the stun. He wasn't ready to fight. Now Juju, big 1v1 to take, but the trades are there from Nero. Convoy Gaming now 223 versus 228, and that rotation's coming to the fore.
And they're trying to reinforce it down by the South Street side. You got player number 4, Prasini. He's trying to hit the route. He's trying to go for the jump up. He might catch Siski off guard. Mid-tack sprint. No, gets the gunning up in time. The rotation is going to be shut down. Treaty 1 are here first.
Yeah, big free kills coming through from Treaty 1. Convoy Gaming, they're spawning in Narnia over towards P3, and that's going to real dial up the urgency for Rex and Nero here, and Nero goes a little bit early. Rex now, I don't think you can afford to wait, especially as Pristini and Gunlets go down. I don't even know if Convoy Gaming are going to spawn anywhere close enough to challenge at this point in time, especially with the mid-map coverage coming from Mirage. And how about that?
Wow.
The Hardpoint Kings in Convoy Gaming, dethroned in map 1.
Yeah, I mean, take everything that I was gassing up for Convoy, just rip it out of the notebook and throw it away. But albeit, I mean, that was such a fantastic first, 3 hard points coming through from Treaty 1 that it comes down to the conversation for that leader's advantage. I mean, it was somewhere near about an 80-point differential until we saw that P5 hold from Convoy. But, I mean, Treaty 1 are just relentless. And we'll talk more about these stats in a few moments, because you got 2 players up 60-plus engagements for Treaty 1 just everywhere on the map. Never allow Convoy to get set up comfortably. And even when you thought that they had an inkling of a setup, you go back to that first set in P3, you're like, okay, you know, they couldn't get full time there on P2. They contested it, whatever. It gave up a lot of time on P1. Doesn't matter. Get a full 60 on P3, we're back to an even game. In the way that Treaty 1, not once, but twice, just completely flooded through maps and got that pinch through the double archway at the same time to break up 2 setups for Convoy there on P3 really does say a lot, especially for the velocity, or ferocity, I should say, for the Treaty 1 team, the way that they're playing Call of Duty in recent weeks.
Yeah, for sure. It really is a surprise. Again, we come back to that conversation point about Treaty 1 Gaming being one of those kind of new teams on the block, as it were. They certainly surprised a lot of rosters in the qualifiers, but to come out and beat Convoy Gaming like that in map number 1, look, it's only map 1 at the end of the day, but still, you really cannot suppress the point that Convoy Gaming are very good at hardpoint, even with Nero on roster, even with that new addition to the team kind of shaking things up. That doesn't just go away, and Treaty 1 just frankly outplayed them there in the first map of the day. Here's a look at those performances, as we said. Mirage at 33 and 23. Again, we talk about Mirage and Proto being these kind of new kids on the block, as it were, making their elite debuts here in Season 4. You really want to make the best first impression on the rest of the North American bracket that you can. That's a great first impression.
That's a fantastic first impression. Again, you know, there's a lot of eyes, especially for this Treaty 1 roster, right? I mean, they go through a certain strength of field throughout that lower bracket. Again, beating Zero and Co. is no easy feat. And again, beating that Pulse team on the week was also a very, very uphill battle. I believe it went all the way to a map number 5. But, hey, man, this Treaty 1 roster, if you can keep the gunny hot and you can keep outpacing Convoy, this series might just very much so be yours.
Yeah, and here's a look at another series right now with 2 storylines going on concurrently, right? 2 more or less brand new rosters, with Diamond Con joining the ensemble at Rockery SG, and Hive, of course, bringing in Velux and Mock alongside Rooper and Fresh from that second place team over from Season 3. Shocked a lot of people, and I think it shocked us here on the casting desk to see any changes going down on Hive after that. But nonetheless, right now, Hive 1-0 up versus Rockery SG in a big match.
If I'm reading this correctly, unless there's something terribly wrong with our sheet, that map 1 was an absolute blowout on Fortress. 250 to 121 was that scoreline?
Yeah, I think we saw it in the picture-in-picture. That's kind of silly.
Dude.
That's not okay.
It's really not, especially even for the namesakes that is this Rocker X ESG roster. Let's not forget, I mean, you saw the tweet that came out from the rotation. I'm sure we all saw it, is that if these 4 players do stick together, they are auto-qualled for champs. So, Definitely want to see them kind of put in the legwork here versus this new Hive roster, with Rupert now leading this up.
Yeah, like, it's one of those conversation points, right? It's like you don't want to, like, completely just give up the remainder of the season, even though you are auto-qualled. If you stick together, there's still a lot of prize pool. There's still a lot of points to be had for any potential seeding. You don't want to just, like, tank out top 10, top 8 like they have been the last couple of seasons. Rocker ESG, they want a better go at things this time around with Diamond Con on the roster. Right now, though, 3-1 down in the search and destroy, and the hard point wasn't kind to them either. On the defense here for the moment, they're trying to threaten Hive away from that A-bomb site. So Lux picks up the first kill. That's Real, who, believe it or not, attempted to flank in from behind. Well, that's not a good start for Rocker.
No, not at all. They still have so little information that they can potentially work on. They're just waiting for Panther to hit the flank through side door, finds 2, forces out the 2v2.
It always feels like Rocker's play comes down more often than not to what can they produce for the back of a flank. And, well, if Real can't do it, it's down to Panda. Now this round certainly has flipped on its head as Fresh now finds himself in a 1 versus 2. Has some idea as to where Diamond Con was located off the back of that frag, but I don't necessarily think he's going to be aware of the fact that Godorex is on the other side of that door. And he's not got dead silence as well. So as soon as Thresh goes for any form of sprint, any form of advanced movement here, I know we don't have that, thank goodness, should be heard. He does at least know. He's at least conscientious of the fact that somebody's probably hanging around, so he's going to go for the little crouch walk. Even that is not going to protect you from a late hit from Godorex.
I've got our X's internal clock, whether it was an audio cue or not, I don't care. Just to check it there at the final few moments, knowing damn well all the information, even from Pander when he flew out and he found 2 through side door via the art hit. A lot of information that was gained there regardless. Godorex didn't have to move. Gotta be said about this Rocker X ESG roster. Again, you know, picking up DC, they were playing with 2 real through the entirety of Season 3 of the Elite. Let's not forget that DC, I mean, that was your Raleigh, your inaugural Challengers champion there at the Open. It did commence at Raleigh. Of course, all of his comrades being brought up to LAG. DC has been kind of floating around. Is this the roster here to make some work happen? Now just trailing by 1 round here in the search.
It's Rocker who are overextending themselves through that stable side. It's a good overextension as well. They get a kill against Fresh for it, and that's great value to come out of that early big risk play. It's also turned the attention, turned the heads of Hive momentarily. Not enough to fully garner control of the A site just yet, but at least giving them some movement in doing so. Rupert now wants to try and even the odds with a flank through munitions. Channeling is in a Real in this play. Godorex, though, has eyes on it. He knows exactly what's up.
Streets control. Godorex looking to maintain this entire flank, but Lux inside of Art, I mean, that is such a tough gunfight versus Envy. I don't care what weapon you have up there. Could have been the X12 pistol. You're in like a 1v4 almost with a pillar. You got the cobblestone wall, the railing. Velox definitely had the low ground there. Shout out Obi-Wan Kenobi, but as the big 2 rounds coming through from Rocker. And again, it's not like they were doing anything too flashy, right? You know, pretty standardized stuff. You get an SMG inside of Art. You get some information off of Godorex just holding down that South Street lane, while the rest of the teammates just try to assault over by that A-bomb site. Just pretty clean stuff coming through from Rocker to tie up the search.
Absolutely. Well, 3-3 at the moment. Rocker ESG now starting to put some streaks together as well. We've got Godorex on 3 and Diamond Con on 2 off the back of the last couple of rounds. That's a nade over the top from Fresh. Does it land? Oh my god, it connects! I have never... I mean, I always do this. I always say, I've never seen that before, and then you go, you've never seen that before? So I'm going to do it, and I presume we're going to get the response. I've never seen that before.
Gotta watch more search streams, man. gotta watch some S&D tourneys. That's... I even sweat just sitting here in my chair watching that sometimes, but... Nade connects, doesn't get the kill, it's just information, and it's keeping Hive pretty damn honest. I don't know what's on the other side here. The stun is going to clear the close corner. Player number 7's Real. He's going to be watching this underneath the doorway.
Yeah, I know this shot's going to connect. Yeah, that's unfortunate, isn't it? Rupert just going to jump across. I don't even know if Real saw him because of the fact, of course, as you say. Yeah, went back towards the stairwell. Rupert's going to get this bomb down now, and it's planted a bit of an off angle as well. That's a big risk. Oh, and that's why you always plant it on the other side, because if he was on the other side of the bomb, that bomb would be down right now.
Yep. Maybe. It's tough to gauge, especially with how much utility might be held on to this late into the round. I'd argue not too much at all. Sniper shots cracking out. Real can just hold this angle. Any damage is going to be good. He can see Rupert just trying to plant the bomb, and Godorex is feasting inside of Open. He's feeling it as well. Going for the challenge versus Mock. Gets cut down. Thresh, nowhere to go. And Rocker, again, just as standard as you may like it. I mean, it's working out, right? It's catching Hive by surprise, who a couple nades off rip. Information damage is good regardless. When you start slowing rolling your way all the way through Art like that, you show your hand late with the stun clearing, especially through that close cut. It just allows the standard setup, especially with Real and the AR, just to feast there inside of the close arch.
Oh, we're going to switch back over towards our main focus matchup right now between Convoy Gaming and Treaty 1. After that big shock to the start of this series, perhaps things will return to normal. Of course, Search and Destroy, not exactly a staple of Convoy's in the past. It has been their biggest weakness across the board. Now they want to turn it into a strength. Currently Gunless and Rex up in a 2 versus 3. They don't have the numbers, and to be honest, I don't really know if they have the time to make this one work. Rex, though, has got the sniper rifle. Let's see if he can pull off something spicy. Roda's head on the docket. This is, of course, Nero restaurant, but it's not going to be served up at all here.
No, yeah, I mean, that's such a tough clear when you're looking at it from Rex. I mean, he knows that he's going to play her all the way in the backside of the lobby. Head glitch. Doesn't take the time to clear info. The post plan just works out. Majority of the reason, I mean, just because we hopped into this round late. Really telling how we lost the other 2 lives there for Convoy, but majority of that was coming through Statue and through the Chandelier side. So easy reads coming through for Treaty 1 to keep them away from that bomb site to potentially retake it. 0-3 start for Rex and Persini combined. But it's still such early days in the Search and Destroy. A lot of time for adaptation to be upon us. Nero's going to pick up that bomb, looking for a quick plant, and hit over here today.
If I recall correctly, back in the days when Nero was in Challenge, it feels like an age ago, it was a god in Search and Destroy. Really did rip up the scene. I think that's what Convoy are looking to change. I think in the fact that Search and Destroy in the past hasn't exactly been great, Nero will be a good addition to the roster for that purpose. But here for the moment, I feel like Gunless getting this bomb down. I mean, Juju might just let it happen for free. Maybe go for the post-plant kill and he will get it. Nonetheless, though, that bomb going down is still a good advantage for Convoy to have.
Dude.
That stun is not a good advantage for Nero to have.
I mean, Nero thought he was going to get the better of Juju. He was just holding the door. Rex over by the display case. Too much to look at. Not a whole lot of time to get the gunfights. And the patience play works off for Treaty 1 Gaming. I mean, typically you'll have like a sniper maybe playing back luggage, but we're seeing more and more of that with an AR or an SMG getting up close and personal over by those doors. And that's what you're seeing when those A hits happen. A lot of players spamming those doors, trying to get the wallbang shots, getting that player out from there. Allowing the bomb to get put down and just playing retake is all off of Juju, just busting through the doors, getting the player on the exit, and then also the stun just catches Nero, just expecting for the Chow to come through for the trade. Completely catches Nero off guard. 3D1, fantastic defense out of them.
Indeed. Lovely start coming out from Treaty 1, I think from Juju in that round in particular, of course. The veteran, if anybody. Do you know Juju's been playing since, like, IW, since, like, Black Ops 3 time? He's an old head.
He's been around, man.
Yeah, he's been around the block for sure. A lot of people do kind of underestimate that and how much of a valuable asset that is to have for this Treaty 1 gaming roster, a leader like that on side. Moment, trying to lead the charges. Proto, though, around Ruggs. Big gunfight to take, and Pristini does lose it. So now Convoy Gaming are going to have to recover their bases.
Can't plant this bomb yet, either. They're waiting for player number 7 and Prada to maybe try to find an angle. Nero scouts it out, takes him down inside of Ruggs. Now in a 3v3. Nero's got the dead silence popped. He's going to clear all of this. Maybe try to go around in the flank. Rex's top bedroom. Gotta have a tough gunfight versus Mirage on that display case. That should be Siski maybe trying to drop this bomb, but they still don't know where these other 2 players are located at.
Are they going to move this bomb?
Oh, he's doing it.
Is that the play? Nero's going to catch both. Oh! No! That second kill would have completely changed the framing of this round. Instead of it being a 2v1 in favor of Convoy Gaming, it is a 2v1 in favor of Treaty 1. These players are relatively split up. That's not really going to be an advantage that Gunless is actually going to be able to take because he is so far away from the play. He's got to run on the other side of the map.
And no dead silence to make this work, right? Gonna have to do it the hard way here. Pierce opens the door, eats a shot to the shoulder. Everybody's just going to be laser focused. I mean, just look at the white arrows on the mini-map. They're just snaking all of this. You're not getting it there. No siree. And what was going to be a very interesting take to try to rewrap, finding at least maybe a timing to get all the way through couches, they had no information where Nero was. So again, that is a very tough call to make if you are Treaty 1. But these guys grind Search and Destroy. So, I mean, it's very potential to say that they might be able to fish out that timing, losing Nero through the middle of the map that was also being looked at. Love that call. Coming through from Treaty 1. Mirage finds himself up on 4 in a row through a handful of rounds now. There's Treaty 1, win 3 in a row.
Yeah, I was going to say, again, coming into the series, that Treaty 1 have to win the Search and Destroy. That seems to be, like, the big thing they need to do to take Convoy Gaming to task. Feels like they've done that thus far. He's 3-1 up here in the S&D. Convoy Gaming going for something a little bit different in round number 5, though. A hit towards B. There's nobody home. So it becomes a question of how quickly they actually realize this. Rotation coming through from Juju around the flank. That stun is going to connect onto a teammate. That's unfortunate, Pristini. But again, these players now starting to swarm around the outside of this bomb site. Now the bomb going down. Pristini, we tagged up by the stun. Shots going through the wall. None of them going to connect. And I think Pristini's going to think about trying to go for a flank around the back line. Siski, how ready is he for this one? Well, not all that ready. Siski gets completely outplayed. And now Proto and Mirage here left up in the 2 versus 3, trying to come in through both sides. Proto, well, they're going to fall. There goes Mirage as well.
Late Semtech's going to help things out, keep that back door closed. And I'm sure that we're probably going to see some adaptations as far as defense is concerned going forward for Treaty 1, just to make sure that you at least have one player maybe watching that cross, get him inside a pantry. You just got to have a player inside of the B side, because Convoy just, I mean, there was hardly anything invested into that. A couple stuns, wasn't even a dead silence push to be able to cause a little bit more space. All 4 players just realistically ran straight through the restaurant, just inside of that B-bomb site where they were able to get full coverage, spamming through the doorways. Information soon to follow. 3D1 could not retake that site, not easily. These convoys stop the bleeding. Offense again for Treaty 1.
A really nice strategy coming out of Convoy there in that round. What does the adaptation look like from Treaty 1 here? Feels like a very heavy towards the middle of the map. Just keep whoever extends the reach through the back line, and as Prada picks up Nero there, this completely again changes the framing of the round, because Pristini is all alone at B, and he needs to produce something. He needs to produce even a kill. Would give Convoy a shot, and well, he's going to cook up with an nade at the complete wrong time. That is just something you never expect.
And he gets out? Oh man, Rex going to be kicking himself for that one. 2v4 for the retake, and Gunless is so far removed from this for the time being. It's going to waste a lot of time. Rex will find the entry though.
Bit of a weird angle for Juju to take. Normally you do use the coverage of the kitchen counters. Juju not going to opt to do that in this situation. Siski's not as well. He moves around for a kill. He doesn't need to do that. Gunless is already going to go down to Iproda. It gives Rex a realistic shot at this round. Mirage, that's the next play to take.
Ooh.
And Mirage going to take him out. But if he gets that kill versus Mirage, that 1v1, I don't want to know how that round ends.
I'm never going to count Dylan Rex out of any potential for a 1v situation. This guy's centering and snapping is just absolutely gross. Modern Warfare 2. I mean, been playing lights out COD, but get that bomb planted over at B. Find those 2 kills as quickly as Treaty 1 did, and I love for them to recognize that, hey, we have numbers, we're fully flooded inside a kitchen. Get that bomb planted and just hold these doorways. Make sure that nobody flanks all the way around. It works. Treaty 1 with a 2-round lead again.
Trading offense for offense at this point in time. Convoy Gaming last time around, it was a 4 hit over towards B. This time, 2-2 split on the map. And more or less the same for Treaty 1. A little bit orientated towards the middle of the map for Juju. It does give him the flexibility to come and make the play happen over towards bedroom if he needs to, and it might need to be back up pretty quickly, but Siski going to win that initial entry, and now Rex, what do you do? Because you've got the bomb, and if you do go heavily towards A, you might be in trouble. I think they might be in trouble anyway. Yeah,
I mean, especially with Prada, you saw there inside a pantry. He finds that kill on a Nero who was trying to create more space over by B. Could have been the call for Rex to maybe try to re-wrap and get that bomb over here. So now Gunless Rex, another 2v4. This time on offense, they're splitting the map up. Rex does have dead silence, and he knows that there's still a player top bedroom. How do you try to do this with 30 seconds left on the clock?
Yeah, you just got to try and bait one of them out, right? Hope for the best. Hope they make an amateur error. I don't know if that's going to be the case, though. Rex is putting all of these shots in. He's actually going to very quickly run out of ammunition if he keeps on doing it. And now has the backup at the very least of Gunless, and he's hoping that is the play. Oh, there's the kill versus Siski. It's unfortunate, though. He's not able to get out unscathed. And again, if he gets that kill and gets away with his life, the 2 versus 3 is plausible, but as Gunless doesn't have dead silence in that scenario, well, there's no real point. Treaty Gaming. Brilliant play.
I mean, it just works out so wonderfully for them. They are just catching these Convoy Gaming members in a lot of unforced errors, and what typically does work for Convoy is not catching Treaty 1 by surprise. Again, they're giving up a lot of space. Bracini was trying to find all of that space, plus maybe a first blood. He gets cut down. Nero was trying to create more space over by B. Could have been a rotation. It was already being held by Prada. So, I mean, every single question that Convoy have been coming into these offensive rounds with, besides the one that we saw them win for round 2 count, has just had little to no avail as far as a response. 3D1 now up on map point for a 2-0 lead.
And this is insane. I know, again, that Search and Destroy was the one we expected them to lose. I say expected quite lightly, but still, this has been a real surprise. 3D1 coming out with a treat for us here. On a 3 versus 3. They haven't made much progression in terms of getting this bomb towards either of these 2 sites. They have a lot more control of B than they currently know, though. That's the thing. They still have their heart set on an A push. Rex was down for a moment there to 40 HP off the back of a Semtex, but he will be back up towards 100, and those trades now starting to go down as Proto looks out towards the middle from Cat or Nero, but Rex has gotten that kill versus Mirage.
Yeah, I mean, that's just such a tough angle for Nero just to expect that timing from. Enough Gunless. We'll take down Prada, so leaves Juju. 1v2, Dead Silence has already been popped. He's looking to take this all the way towards top head. Now, unbeknownst to Juju, the second he chows out, Gunless will see him, and Juju will be taken out. Convoy, staying alive in this search and destroy for the time being. Or let's kind of give Treaty 1 a little taste for their own medicine. You know, there's a lot of aggressive pushes. I mean, you saw Rex there off the early going. He was essentially looking like he was an offensive team member there on Hotel Control, trying to at least snake his way to victory over by the display case down low. Was at least keeping all these players back, but finding that first blood, at least maintaining presence in the middle of the map, caused some distress for Treaty 1 to maybe try to go for a late wrap. Started to. They re-wrap all the way back over towards A. By then, Juju lost all of his teammates.
Convoy Gaming keeping themselves in the conversation here, keeping themselves alive in the search and destroy. Need to translate this round into a victory. Patented aggression coming out from Convoy. Nero getting himself in the position we've seen from before, but Siski from Luggage sends him packing. Nero down for the count, and Convoy haven't got any map control.
And Rex wants the challenge, too. Bold. Say that much. Gonna rip Dead Silence. Bomb in the back pocket there for Gunless. Rex is still thinking about it, too. That stun's not going to reach all the way back there, so Siski just has to hold the angle. Prasini's going to find the kill down low. This bomb site becomes a little bit more open for Convoy to potentially fully take.
Yeah, it's this bedroom control that's just so daunting for Treaty 1 now. Yes, Siski is over here, but his position has been revealed. Convoy can take him out of the play. It would effectively hand them full control of the round, but you can see on the minimap at the moment, they are totally unsure. And now they're not. There you go. Siski down for the count. This bomb should go down.
Should. I'm going to try to rewrap this. This is... I don't like this. Brady, I don't like this one bit, but I mean, it might be able to work out. I mean, they know that Juju's one shot. He's all the way back inside the atrium. Proto's nowhere to be found. He's normally the B Guardian in the timing, albeit tight. It might just work out. Juju's going to come flying all the way through Pantry. He's going to have to check this. Does he get the kill in time? Yes, he does. 6 seconds remaining. Dylan has to plant the bomb, but the challenge from Prada over by the side door is better. Treaty 1 put Convoy to rest. They take a 2-0 lead in the series.
Oh, that rap is so stupid. I just... look, you know what? You know how I feel sometimes. I think you and I are definitely both on the same page there. It's just like, there is no reason to do that rap whatsoever. I know you don't exactly have the information as to where the last 2 remaining players are, but just plant the bomb. Just try to play trades off the back of the bomb. You've got control of Luggage at the very least. Like,